Man United have beaten West Ham 2-1 in our first pre-season game. No, I'm not counting the Leeds game. Neither are you, because that performance was spooky. But anyways, we've beaten West Ham, and I'm going to go through 5 positives that I watched, that I picked up whilst watching this game. 2 of them are as a whole, as a collective, about the team as a whole, like I said. 3 are going to be individual players. Now, there are players who played well, and they might get credit, and they'll probably deserve credit, but I'm going to pick out 3 players which I noticed something a bit different, or something stood out to me that I wanted to highlight. So, let's get straight into the video. I've got the starting 11 right in front of me, but before I show you the starting 11, you guys probably already watched the game, let me know your thoughts. Please leave a like, please subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm trying to grow this community, and yeah, let me know your thoughts about the game yesterday. As always, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to try and do a positive spin. There are a lot of negatives that we can take from the game, but mostly I think it was an overall positive performance. And if you looked at that game, if you watched that game, and you took anything out of that as a negative more than a positive, if you watched that game and you said as a whole that was more of a negative than a positive, then you just hammer him out and you just don't want to see him do well at Man United or whatever. You've got your own agendas. But as a whole, I think it was a positive game. So let's go through the team. As you can see, this was the starting 11. These guys played for about 65, 70 minutes until they all got replaced. I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm not even going to talk about any of those players that came on, because that was a horrible performance. Like, the intensity, everything just dropped. So, in goal, we got Bayinde. The back 3 was Heaven, De Ligt, and Yoro. Very, very solid defense. I'm going to say that right off the bat. In the midfield, we had Dorgu, Mainu, Ugarte, and Ahmad. Obviously, Dorgu and Ahmad as the wing-backs. And then you got Cunha and Bruno Fernandes in the 10. And Rasmus Højlund up top. The first positive I'm going to go through. Guys, I think everyone noticed it. I know there was this joke earlier on about, the players coming in. And, oh, everyone looks lean. Everyone looks really fit. Everyone looks good. But, boys, these guys, like, the fitness levels, the intensity levels for a preseason game, for a first proper preseason game, was levels above anything I've seen in preseason for the past few years. Like, usually when you're watching preseason, you can see it's a bit sluggish, you can see it's a bit dull. These guys were fit. Everyone was running. Honestly, I was gonna make a video. I was gonna make a point about Højlund in particular, but I didn't think he really warranted it as a whole positive point, because I saw a lot of people saying, oh, Højlund looks good, Højlund looks great. Yeah, but so did everyone else. Everyone else looked good. Everyone else looked fit. Everyone else looked like they could run for miles. They were strong. They were slimmer, but stronger. The intensity was up there. But Højlund did play better than he did last season. It's not going to take a lot to beat that. But overall, his game wasn't amazing. He was making the right runs, credit to him. Maybe a few passes here and there from Bruno and Cunha should have found him. But obviously, there is a bit of, naturally it's preseason. They're going to be a bit sloppy here and there. But overall, he played well. I do think, though, there were chances that he should have buried. I do think there were runs that he probably should have made. I do think that, at times, like, he won the ball back, and then, he could spray it this way, he could spray it that way, and he just didn't do anything with it, or he just gave it right back to the opposition. But overall, as a whole, fitness levels, amazing. But we've always known that about Højlund. He's always been like a bit of an athlete. But everyone as a collective, the running, the intensity, like I said, they look slimmer but stronger. That you usually see, this type of performance, you usually see late in preseason, maybe the first few games of the season. In my opinion, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this intensity from Man United. It was really, really refreshing to see. Really good to see. And going on to point number 2, because it links, is the press. The intensity of the press, how high we were pushing up when West Ham had the ball. And let's get it out of the way. West Ham aren't the best team in the world, right? West Ham have a new manager themselves in Graham Potter. So naturally, they're not going to be the most... they're not going to be the best team coming out the back. They're not going to be the best team in terms of chemistry, in terms of passing. Just passing lanes, all that kind of stuff. They're not going to be the best. But overall, you could see the intention with the press was way different to the intention of the press in the previous season, the season that just went. God forbid we ever talk about that season. But the intensity of the press, these guys were like dogs. Every time West Ham had the ball at the back, you see Bruno, you see Højlund, you see Mainu won the ball back so many times, coming out of that midfield position, going into the kind of 10 position, because obviously the other 2 boys would drop would press a lot higher, so that obviously vacant space for Mainu. The wing backs coming forward as well. You see Ugarte sweeping up if needed. If we beat the first 2 lines of the press, then you've got Ugarte there as well. The press was really, really good. It didn't work every time, but it was certainly a massive, massive improvement to what we've seen before. Again, that comes down to the intensity. Ruben Amorim has always said, like, we need to be fit. We need to be the best running team in the league. You're not going to achieve anything if you don't run, right? And obviously that's why we got rid of certain players, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyways, yeah, I think the press was really good. It was really good to see. Like I said, it resulted in us winning the ball back in quite high up the pitch. Where we were obviously let down, where we didn't score, where we probably should have, is again chemistry. You know, Cunha, Bruno, Højlund. There's a bit of, you know, they still need to learn each other's passing and run pattern, all that kind of stuff. There needs to be chemistry there. And also, like I said, Højlund had it's not just Højlund, to be fair. Cunha had it a few times, but it mainly goes down to just not choosing the right pass or not making the right run, or maybe delaying the pass a bit too long. You know, there was a time where I think Højlund made a good run in behind. Bruno waited a little too long, and then obviously Højlund was offside. But even then, he ran like a maniac. Like he was, Todibo was way ahead of him, and he just sprinted past him. Even in the first few seconds, in the first minute, you see he had a chance through on goal. The guy was running like I've never seen him before. Højlund, it's going mad. But I'm not going to get too, ahead of myself, because at the end of the day, a striker has to finish. If you want to sprint and you want to be strong, brother, Olympics is, you get me. It's a few years away. What is it now? 1 year? 1 year away. Like, it's close. Is it 1 year? I don't even know. Anyways, the next positive I'm going to go through is... Let me highlight him, man. This guy right here. So these are the players now I'm going to highlight, right? Dorgu. This guy. This is the Dorgu we signed. This is the Dorgu we thought we signed. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he was a bad player from January onwards. He wasn't a bad player. And you saw, to be fair, I did say, the latter stages of the season, you really saw like big performances from Dorgu. You're like, oh, okay, this is the player we bought. Not that he was poor before, but it just really wasn't inspiring. It wasn't anything crazy. This guy today even, because it was past midnight. Again, the running, the strength, the intention. I think Wan-Bissaka is going to have dreams about Patrick Dorgu. Todibo is going to have dreams about this guy. This guy was bodying them left, right, and centre. There were so many moments where he just runs in behind. It's like, you don't have a right to get this ball. What are you doing? And he just gets it. Very, very, very inspiring stuff. Very, what's the word I'm looking for? Positive. It's not the word I'm looking for, but I'm just going to put it. Positive signs from Patrick Dorgu. There was this one moment as well where Wan-Bissaka, I think, played a 1-2 around Dorgu, and he got around him, and obviously he's progressed the ball, and I was like, Patrick, you should have been in a better position there. Before I even finished the sentence, before I even stopped speaking, he's ran back, bodied Wan-Bissaka, and then got the ball back. Really, really positive from Dorgu. We always knew this, that Amorim wanted bombing wing backs, that he wanted someone to play up, also run back, very fit, very athletic. And honestly, in the first half especially, the game was a lot down the left-hand side. Ahmad, we didn't really see too much of in the first half, throughout the game anyways. But he did grow later in the game. But mainly, it was all down the left-hand side. Patrick Dorgu was dominating in that space in terms of runs, like I said, in terms of winning the ball back. Really, really positive signs. And what we know about Dorgu, from what we've seen last season, is that it's not all running with no end product. The guy's got a good cross on him. He's got a very good cross on him. It's just a shame that last season we didn't have anyone to be in the end of those crosses. Hopefully we bring in a striker this season that can be on the end of those crosses. Or you've got Cunha and Mbeumo behind him who can obviously sweep up or arrive late into the box, whatever it is. But like I said, it's not someone that gets into the ball and is like, gets into the box rather, and then is like Bambi on ice, or gets into crossing positions and it doesn't know what to do with it. Really, really positive signs with Dorgu. I like the signing of him, and hopefully I think we're going to see the best of him this season. The next positive I want to talk about, I'll be honest, it's close to Dorgu. We're going to go up here. Cunha, man. Cunha, you've changed my life. They're calling you the Brazilian Eric Cantona. I don't know about all that. I'll be real. I don't know about all that. They're calling you a maverick. I'll be honest, this word maverick, you know what it means? I just think it means different. I think it means X factor. I think it means you just don't know what you're going to get from him. And that is the best way to describe Matheus. I'm not Brazilian. It's faster with the Portuguese. You get what I'm trying to say? Cunha. That's what you're getting called. Cunha. I like him a lot. Ruben Amorim has come out and said, I like his personality. I like his character. He's Brazilian. I like that. I like that too, Ruben Amorim. Me and you have that in common. But also, he's very loud in the changing room, apparently. And you can see, even after the match, he's hugging the boys. He's talking to the boys. He's fit right in. Fit right in. But that's not why I'm praising him. I'm not a weird fan who dissects, you know, oh, what are they talking about? I'm not that guy. Leave that to the Arsenal fans. Cunha on the ball. The cameraman doesn't know what he's gonna do next. The camera, you know, every time Cunha's got the ball, the cameraman's shaking. He's like, okay, what way am I gonna go now, brother? Every time this guy's got the ball, I've always said it. The simplest trick, the most effective trick, the most effective skill move you can do in football is a body feint. Every time you don't know if he's gonna go that way. You don't know if he's gonna go this way. It's the most effective thing. It slows down the defender. It slows down the opposition, whoever it is, midfielder, attacker, whoever it is that you're up against. And it keeps them on their feet. It creates that little separation for you to then accelerate. And Cunha's got that burst. Cunha's got that acceleration. Not only that, let's say you accelerate past them. What if they're quick? They can run back. Cool. Cunha's running with it. The guy is holding people off. He's so strong. Like, you know when you watch compilations, you're always seeing the goals. You're always seeing this kind of stuff. You don't see stuff like this where it doesn't really lead to anything. But it's like you're taking us from behind the halfway line into close to their territory, close to their box. Just simply by a little body feint, taking a ball around the defender and just driving. And he's done that so many times. I really, really like his body feints. I really like his, again, just that X factor where you just don't know what he's going to do. Had a few shots. Even the one outside the box, like just put it onto his left foot. I like the confidence. Why not try it? At least it was on target. Didn't go way over. Really, really positive signs with Cunha. Also, what was interesting is that he didn't stick to that left 10 position. He was roaming. Sometimes you saw him in the right 10. Sometimes you saw him go up next to Højlund. So it's going to be interesting to see what Amorim does with that. But again, linked up very, very well with Dorgu. Linked up well with Bruno. I think just between him, Bruno and Højlund, there was a bit of miscommunication. The patterns weren't really there. Again, Bruno and Cunha speak Portuguese. Højlund, we know, barely speaks English, barely speaks Danish. So let's be real. I'm joking, Højlund. Now I'm getting a bit too much. I'm sorry. But regardless, yeah, hopefully we get a striker in ASAP. Hopefully Mbeumo plays into the team so that they can develop those links quickly, efficiently, effectively, so that by the time we start the season, we're just killing them. We're just killing them, hopefully. Now, number 5. The last one I'm going to talk about. Again, there was a lot of positives, but I'm going to stick it to 5. Ugarte is another one as well, by the way. Ugarte I can speak about. Really, 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 really solid performance. I'm not going to go crazy, but really solid. Had this one move that I'm just like, Ugarte, come on. Like, this isn't you. Like, why have you turned into Zidane? Why have you done that then? Where he just played Ahmad through. Was it offside? I don't know. VAR. You're not on preseason, but you should be. Anyways, the next one I'm going to talk about. You see Dorgu, you see Cunha. I'm going to drop it down to Mainu. This triangle here. Wow. Mainu, I love you. Mainu, I love you. The guy, wow, man. When this guy's got the ball, he's not English. And I don't mean it in a racist way. Like, I mean it as if this guy is Spanish. This guy is French. You know? He plays like them, man. Like, the way he just gets the ball. Whenever the ball's with him, I'm excited. And I don't say that a lot about centre mid. Because usually a centre mid just gets the ball, you're looking for the next pass, boom. The body feints, the understanding of where his players are, where the opposition is, the ability, and he does it so many times, and I love it. Where he just drags the ball closer to him, invites the opposition, and then just plays it. Right? It's like a drag back and then play. Him and Cunha had so many moments like that where they'll just drag, boom. The way he sets it, it's like, this is what I describe Mainu, right? I think players love playing with Mainu because the exact way you want the ball, the exact thing you want him to do to create maybe a yard of separation or maybe to take a defender out of the way, whatever it is, the exact set that you want when you're running onto the ball and you don't want it too heavy, you just want someone to set it like that, he's able to do it. And he does it so perfectly. The only thing we were missing from Mainu really in the past season or so was that physicality, was the ability to press, was the ability to run back. Very, very positive signs. Very, very encouraging signs. That's the word I was looking for. Encouraging. Encouraging signs so far. Again, I'm not getting carried away. It is the first game of the season. But like I said, I do want to concentrate on the positives rather than the negatives because I want the best for this team. I want the best for Ruben Amorim. I really, really like him as a coach, as a person. And hopefully, again, I'll criticize him when he needs to be criticized. I'll criticize the team when they need to be criticized. That's what we do as fans. But I'm not going to be on this fence where it's like, you're either on this side or you're on that side and you can't change or you can't do this or, you know, even if we see a solid performance but you hammer him out, now you need to see the negatives. No, it's not about that, boys. So, yeah, again, first game of the season, but really encouraging signs from Mainu. The only worry I have, and it's not even about Mainu. Mainu and Ugarte worked really well that game. I just know long term, Bruno's not going to play there. Bruno's going to drop. So when Bruno drops into that centre mid position, who vacates that position? Because Mainu, would he be able to do what he does if he had a Bruno next to him? Where Bruno's the more, expansive player, the more attacking player, and then Mainu has to drop back. With Ogate, he knows he's holding, so Mainu can drive. But regardless, again, it's the small details. But it's just the way he takes players out of the game. It's just the passes that he's making, the correct decisions. Again, that triangle there, Dorgu, Mainu, Cunha, no Illuminati. I don't really like triangles like that. But that triangle there, really, really, really positive signs. Extremely encouraged by it. Let's see what happens. Again, in the fitness stuff as well. I know the fans probably looked into it too much, but it is paying off. I'm not going to get too excited and say, oh, this guy looks proper fit. Look at the sweat rolling down his face. I'm not gonna do all that. There was a lot of negatives, like I said, past the 70th minute. Please, don't even talk to me about it. I was on my phone most of the time because I didn't want to watch Cunha. I didn't want to watch Casemiro ball. I didn't want to see it. Didn't want to see the ball just bopping about and going left and right. And God forbid, horrible. But regardless, in terms of the press as well, it was very fine margin. Sometimes you see Bruno cover two angles. And when the opposition plays an angle like to the left, for example, to the right, Bruno was so close to intercepting. Again, those fine margins, so close to intercepting where if he's a bit fit, if he's not as sloppy, maybe he intercepts that and we drive and maybe we score. So it is a game of fine margins, but really encouraging signs. Guys, let me know what you think about the game. Let me put it to my beautiful face because just got my hair done. And by hair done, I mean I just came out of the shower and it looks like this. Beautiful. Anyways, regardless, let me know what you thought about the game. Let me know if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. Usually I cover the news. Usually I cover topics. I'll create my own topics to talk about, but let me know if you want me to kind of go through the games. I'm not going to be the most tactical guy on YouTube. There are great channels for that. I'm just going to give my thoughts, and you're probably going to see just real United analysis from a fan's perspective. Who wants the best for the players? Who wants the best for the clubs? A kind of level-headed one, because I'm not going to be too excited. I'm not going to be too down. I'm just going to be, again, I could do a negative video. It'll probably get more views. I probably could do, this was poor or that was poor, but as a whole, as a United, if you're watching that as a United fan, I think you take a lot more positives than you do negatives. And I'm really encouraged and I'm actually excited to watch us play the next game because hopefully we build on this. Hopefully it's not too much rotation. And Bueno comes into the team. Maybe we get a striker. Hopefully we get a goalkeeper. And let's see what happens. But boys, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I love you. Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you want to see next. Like and subscribe to grow the community. As always, I will see you very, very soon.